guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to my very first video. My name is Camilla and today I'm going to be doing my 2021 reading bullet journal setup. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I track my reading throughout the year. This right here is actually a stand-in bullet journal that I have, which I'm going to be using until my Archer and Olive bullet journal arrives in the mail. This is just a plain black bullet journal that I got from my local hobby shop. The first thing I'm doing here is gluing down the first page because it stuck out a little funny, and then I'm just doing the title page for my bullet journal. For this, I'm using some stamps that I bought over on Etsy and at my local hobby shop. Everything I'm using in this video, I will try and leave a link to down below. Because this is my stand-in bullet journal, I will not be using very many stickers and things like that. I'm going to save those for my Archer and Olive bullet journal for when that arrives. I will be making a video on the setup of the new bullet journal once it arrives in the mail, and I can use all of my pretty stickers and things like that. In making this video, I can definitely say that I have learned a lot, both from the filming process and the editing process, so I can already tell that my future videos are going to be so much better. This spread here is my bookshelf spread. Basically what I did here was draw a bookshelf with heaps and heaps of books on the shelves, and every time I read a book during the year, I color in the spine of one of the books on the shelves. And then I write the title of the book that I read on that spine as well. I haven't actually counted how many books I drew here in the end, but it's definitely more than the books I'm going to be able to read during the year, which is totally fine. I did leave a few spaces on the shelves where I'm going to put some plant pot stickers and things like that, decoration items, but that probably won't be until I get my new bullet journal. The last thing I did on this spread was the key for this spread. Basically, I chose 3 different colors, one for physical books, one for ebooks, and one for audiobooks. And every time I read a book during the year, I will color in the spine with the matching color. This next spread is my 2021 reading goals. My goal this year is to read 50 books. I did actually end up making more boxes here than 50. I just did that because I wanted to fill the page with as many boxes as I possibly could in case I do read more books than 50. And every time I read a book this year, I will color in one of these boxes. On the other page of this spread, I wrote out my other reading goals for this year, the more specific goals that I have. These reading goals are to read 8 audiobooks, reread the Percy Jackson series, and read the Mistborn series. Then I made an other category for any other reading goals that I might have during the year, which the only one I could think of right now is to read all of the Shadowhunter books that I have not read yet, which, believe it or not, is 13 books. I know I need to catch up on that as soon as possible. each of these other reading goals, I also drew in a box, and so every time I read a book for one of these goals, I will color in that box. So I did this thing in the top right hand corner of the book with washi tape, but I end up really not liking it. So I do, in a clip after this, go back and remove it and use some different washi tape instead. So I had to take a little break here, which is why the lighting is a little bit different, but this is basically where I decide to change the washi tape to just a black and white simple washi tape. This next spread here is the 21 books that I want to read this year, which is basically just a visualization of my previous spread with my reading goals. Before this video, I went ahead and printed out all of the book covers for the 21 books that I want to read this year. Conveniently enough, my reading goals with the Shadowhunter books, Percy Jackson, and the Mistborn series is actually 21 books. So basically this is just a visualization of those 21 books. After having cut out each of the book covers, I decided to glue them down in like the order of first book of each series to the last book of each series. Obviously the Shadowhunter books are like lots of different series, but I decided to glue those down in the order that I wanted to read them, followed by the Percy Jackson books and then the Mistborn books. The last thing I did on this spread was basically draw a heart above each of the books on this list. So every time that I read one of these books, I will color in the heart to show that I have read it. These spreads are my last spreads for this bullet journal setup. This is basically where I like to kind of visualize and like have a visual representation of all the books that I read throughout the year. I decided to do it in a way where I print out all of the book covers of the books that I read throughout the year, and then I will glue them in here to kind of visualize and show myself which books that I have read throughout the year. I will, underneath each of the books, I will draw in the star rating of the books that I read, and then on top of it, above it, I will write down the date that I finished reading the book, just to kind of have a visual representation at the end of the year of all the books that I read. On each page, there is room for 18 book covers, which obviously means that the next few spreads are going to be the same as this. But basically, once I get to a point where there is room enough for, I think it's 81 books, that is basically where I decided to stop doing these spreads, because I don't think that I'm going to be able to read more books than that. doing this final kind of half spread, I decided to leave a few pages blank before my January setup, just basically to have room for anything else that I decide to do throughout the year. And so this, guys, here is my flip through of my bullet journal and the spreads that I did in this setup, so you guys can just see all of the spreads where it's not going so fast. If you guys haven't already, please like and comment on this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That would really support me. And don't forget to also follow me on Instagram. I will have that linked here in a second. And so yeah, guys, that is my video. I will see you guys next time.